Hello class, today we will be discussing the questions from Knights of Knowledge about the repeating patterns that shapes make in a flat plane in space, and more specifically, why polygons are unable to maintain this pattern. So in geometrical patterns, you can see that certain shapes are able to completely fill a plane and make interesting mosaic patterns with the way the shapes lay around one another without leaving any blank space or using any overlap. And so with triangles, squares, and hexagons, this is able to be done, but with a shape like a pentagon, this is unable to happen. So looking at a pentagon, we can see from the pictures here that when you try to put pentagons in a mosaic pattern, there's some space left over, and you're not able to fill that space unless you use some overlap, which creates another interesting pattern, but it doesn't fill the space, leaving just pentagons alone. And so let's look at why this happens. So the reason this happens is a pentagon has 5 internal angles of 108 degrees, and when you divide 360 by 108, you get a whole number. You don't get a whole number, but instead you get some remainders. So you get 3.333 continuing into infinity, and so this is why you have leftover space in your pentagon pattern. So, for example, with a triangle, the reason you don't get this leftover space is you divide 360 by its natural internal angle of 60 degrees, leaving you with 6, which is a whole number. And same with a square, you divide 360 by 90, giving you 4. And this is why squares and triangles are able to do a repeating pattern, because they're able to complete the circle of 360 degrees without leaving anything left behind. But one interesting thing that happens with a pentagon is if you collapse it down a little bit, you can actually make a sphere. Now you need a 3-dimensional space for this, but it makes an interesting geometric pattern when you are able to use a 3-dimensional plane such as a sphere. And as you can see in the picture, it doesn't make a perfect sphere, but it does make a cool pattern. So thanks for watching. I hope I was able to show you how pentagons work in a flat plane and how they are unable to completely fill that space without any overlap or leftover space. And thank you for watching.